Tiger Woods won't play in the Masters for the second time in 3 years. The year's first major, the Masters, has a loaded field. Defending champion Jordan Spieth, #1 player in the world, Jason Day, and Rory McIlroy among the favorites to win. Skip, will golf ratings suffer this season if Tiger doesn't play at all?
Want to know the truth? I don't know. They probably will, but I'm the wrong guy to ask, and I'm about to tell you why. As you well know, I'm a long-time hardcore golf fanatic. I was pre-Tiger, and I still am. And Mr. Smith, I must confess to you, I have never, ever been more excited about a Masters than I am for this one right here, right now. And it's going on as we speak, and it's driving me a little crazy that I can't watch it. Here's why. I can't, in my golfing life, remember a greater collection of maturing young gun talent than this tournament features right here, right now. I don't think Tiger had to face this depth of high-quality competition when he exploded on the scene at the 1997 Masters, an event like which I have never seen in the history of sports. And please, please, please understand, I am aiming zero disrespect at Tiger Woods here. Are you writing that one down?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay, he's making notes while I'm speaking. I like that.
No,
I like
I'm
it.
listening to what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just highlighting some stuff.
Okay, I want to make this very clear about Tiger Woods. I was a big Tiger Woods fan. I was as riveted by, as in awe of his performance when he was dominant as I was by Ben Hogan or Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer or Lee Trevino or Seve Ballesteros or on and on. He was the man for a while. He dominated this sport the way no human ever has and probably ever will. But I'm going to remind you of something. The last Masters that Tiger Woods won, it was 11 years ago. 11 years ago. It was 2005. That's the last time Tiger Woods won this tournament. And he still hovers over this tournament like a ghost, but his presence is there. He went to the Champions Dinner the other night, and it was the event of the tournament so far. It's like, I think the tournament should have just stopped right there. They didn't need to play because Tiger showed up and was captured on video at the Champions Dinner. That's all we needed. I'm going to remind you of this. Tiger Woods has not been in serious Final Nine contention at a major championship since the scandal he suffered on Thanksgiving of 2009. That's how long it's been since he actually contended when it really mattered down the stretch of a major championship. So now it brings me to this field, and I don't want to belabor this because a lot of people don't care that much about non-Tiger golf, but just to hit the highlights quickly. Jason Day, my pick to win it all this year, to win the tournament, is now the #1 player in the world. He broke through, finally won the PGA last year. I think he's going to win several green jackets. We know what Jordan Spieth did last year. Won the Masters, won the Open, contended, came close at the British and the PGA. Just phenomenal year, maybe as great a year as anybody's ever had a single season. Rory McIlroy has won all 3 other majors. You would think he'd win at least a couple of green jackets before he's finished. Ricky Fowler got off to a bad start this morning, then went birdie, so he's back on track. He just keeps coming close, 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 and I remind you, he's been top 10 in 7 of his 8 tournaments, so he's knocking on that door and will break through. Adam Scott already won 1 Masters. I'm sure he'll win a couple of more. Bubba Watson has won 2 Masters, and I'm sure he'll win a couple of more. Justin Rose won a U.S. Open. That was Andy North's pick on SportsCenter, and he surely has 1 Masters in him. Dustin Johnson might have more talent than anybody out there, has yet to win a major, but he has 3 top 5s in his last 4 tournaments this year. He's right on the precipice of breaking through, which brings me to the one guy who's old. 45-year-old Phil Mickelson merely this year leads the tour in scoring average at 69.2. He's won 5 majors, he's won 3 Masters, and Mike Greenberg, I just heard on the previous show, said he's sort of his long shot pick or his gut feeling pick to win this Masters. I would love to see that. What if we have a collision of all these young guns and 1 old gun down the stretch on Sunday? It could be the greatest Masters finish ever. I'm sorry. I'm excited without Tiger. Forgive me.
Man, I love you, man. I mean, it's special to watch you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not joking.
It's real.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Okay.
I'm not maligning you in any way, because you know, as I know, this is the one sport when it comes, just so you know, Molly, when it comes to golf, this is my expert here. I stand back and I defer. So it's not I can't debate him on golf. I just can't do it.
I can't play it, but I watch it.
I understand that.
I try.
I defer. I defer. I mean, literally, when I'm watching golf, when I'm watching the U.S. Open, when I'm watching the Masters, which I will be watching, he knows I'm watching it because I know he's watching. Yes, I do. I always watch Saturday and Sunday. I don't always watch Thursday and Friday like you do. I don't always watch Thursday and Friday like you do because I'm doing other things. But I always watch Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday and Sunday because I know obviously it's getting thick and I know how he is.
Just watch Sunday. Just Sunday.
But let me say this to you. Let me tell you why I'm smiling, Skip. First of all, golf should appreciate you because you're the one person outside of the sport of golf that brings the appropriate attention to golf. But I'm smiling, but almost cryptically, because I'm looking at you and saying everything you highlighted is exactly why the sport ain't the same without Tiger.
Okay.
Because here's the thing.
And that's fair. I buy that.
I got that.
I'm with you.
I can deduce based on reading, watching, what I learned from the sport, listening to you, because you talk about it all the time, is that this is what it comes down to. You talk about, remember, the year ended 2015. 3 of the top players in the world were 27 or younger. Okay? So what we have here, you've got Day, he's 27. You got Spieth, he's like 22. You've got McIlroy, he's like 26, but he finished 17th in the PGA Championship last year. He didn't win anything in 2015. So you've got that going on. What that speaks to, Skip, is an absence of consistency, all right? So you've got these guys, they're great. The problem is they're not consistently great. So because of their absence of dominance, you're looking at it and you're watching for the love of the sport. People need to gravitate themselves to something other than the sport in order for the sport to transcend itself to another level the way it did with Tiger, Nicklaus, and beyond. That's where your problem lies. It's not just the ethnicity of a Tiger Woods or whatever. It was the level of dominance that he put, but not the kind of unhealthy dominance similar to what UConn women's basketball doing. It was a healthy level of dominance, meaning that he won most times, and he was done. He won most. No, I'm not.
It was like Tiger or the field. Before these terms, Tiger or the field. I'll take Tiger.
But what I'm saying to you, every now and then somebody won a major. Every now and then somebody won a PGA Tour. All I'm saying to you is that there was somebody around, hovering around, that you said, okay, what's Tiger going to do today? But you didn't always know. Whereas with UConn women, you know. When you look at today's golfers, and you look at Day, you look at Spieth, and you look at McIlroy, and then you look at a 45-year-old like Phil Mickelson, you're saying this could be special. But keep in mind, when Tiger was playing, what did he do? He beat Mickelson. He beat Vijay Singh. He beat Love, all right? But they were consistent. You know this better than me, Skip. They were more consistent than these guys are against one another. It ebbs and flows. So in terms of the love of the sport, I get where you're coming from. Because what you're saying is, oh, my God, look at this weekend. Any of these guys can win. I mean, it's up for grabs. How could you not love this? Well, the problem with that is there's no one that you could definitively look at and say they're models of consistency. They're going to be there. What are you going to do about it? That's what I'm saying. Now, again, I defer to you.
But it's so deep. The talent is so deep. I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to emerge from this pack.
But because the talent is so deep, you have to love the sport to love watching it. Because the problem is there's not one person to look at and say, money time has arrived. They're going to be there. I want to see what they're going to do. And when you don't have that, it compromises the allure of the sport. It shouldn't, because that's what we should all want. Some level of parity. Like, for example, the biggest argument that you can make in favor of why golf should be supported is the NFL. Because of parity. Yes, New England dominates in terms of getting 5 straight AFC championships. But the bottom line is they only got one Super Bowl championship in that span. But others have won. The Giants came out of nowhere, won not one, but 2 rings. The Baltimore Ravens came out. They won the Super Bowl. San Francisco came out of nowhere when Harbaugh sat Alex Smith in favor of Colin Kaepernick, and they came out like gangbusters. Cam Newton in Carolina, after going 7-8 and won the previous year, finishes 15 and won the very next year and goes all the way to the Super Bowl. Seattle wins 1 Super Bowl, shouldn't have lost the next one. And then they go into the playoffs and they get outscored 31-0 in the first half. I'm saying that level of parity that exists within the National Football League is what you're talking about with these golfers. You did, and that, unless the public embraces that, it can't win. And the problem, Skip, is this. You've got Spieth. He's, in Texas. He's, patriotism, America, blah, blah, blah. Rory McIlroy is Irish.
Ireland, yeah.
So Day was the Australian.
Australia, yeah.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
All right.
So these are the problems that you have.
Okay, I hear all that, but everybody I mentioned on this list has the capability of being better than Vijay Singh, who was an early Tiger rival, or you brought up Davis Love. Not sure he was a Tiger rival, but they all could be better. They all have the capability of being a Phil Mickelson. They all could win 5 majors. They all are that good, that young. You can just see it. The talent is enormous and on every level that I just gave you of all these players. So my point is, one of them might have, I think Jason Day could emerge right here, right now. And I'm not saying, because I'm not sure we'll ever see another Tiger Woods, but he could be a near Tiger.
Yeah, and I'm saying, and I'm, again, not debating that. My point to you is, I hate to put it in such simplistic terms, but it comes down to, he's Australian. Are they going to gravitate to him? I mean, you appreciate.
Do you remember Greg Norman?
Yeah.
Okay, he became a pretty big.
He was a big deal,
but the shark, that was.
But wait a minute, he was a big deal to avid golf lovers and golf aficionados. We're talking about you wishing that not Tiger-like, but that the sports transcended. Think about this, Skip. I know this much. My man Jeff and I were talking about this just the other day. You go to the golf courses and what have you. Membership is down. It ain't the same now that Tiger's out because it ain't the ticket anymore. Custom clubs, custom clothes, things of that nature. People demanding this kind of stuff. All of a sudden, it's not that important anymore because Tiger's gone. That's the kind of effect that he had. He was a transcendent figure that happened to play the sport of golf. What you have now are beautiful golfers that any golf-loving individual can appreciate.
Got it. Go ahead.
I have one question for you, but I want you to finish, though.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll do it to wrap.
Bottom line, it's driving me a little nuts to try to come to grips with how long will the sport of golf miss Tiger if, in fact, as you say, he's done. I mean, 5 years from now, will we be having this same discussion? It's like the 85 Bears in Chicago. We're going to Chicago for the draft. It feels like, and I worked in Chicago for a while, they still miss the 85 Bears because no one's replaced the 85 Bears. So 10 years from now, will we still miss Tiger if in fact, he's retired in 10 years?
Maybe not with this talent.
Maybe not. We just don't know. That's the way it looks. And, Skip, I'll ask this question. I want you to get your question in too, Molly, but I got to ask this question, Skip. How does watching the sport on I don't know. I'm asking. Watching the sport on TV, do you think it does a good enough job to generate that interest going from, player to player, watching them shoot their shots? Does it do enough to elevate the allure of the sport, or is it more
the way it's televised?
The way it's televised. I don't know.
I never even think twice. I'm fine with it.
Exactly, because I don't know. I don't know, because it's bouncing back and forth. They're trying to generate.
Well, obviously, it drives you a little. It's a little distracting for you.
It's a little distraction. It's a little distracting for me. For me, but I could be in a minority.
Okay, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Clearly,
I can't wait.
You're mad that you're not watching right now. This is what I was going to ask you. You know tennis is my country club sport, but you're getting me hyped about this weekend. Who's one guy that you think's really exciting to watch that I look forward to this weekend? Jason Day? If you were going to say you can only watch one guy, who would it be? Interesting.
Bubba Watson. I mean, he's just all over the map, all over the golf course. I don't know what he's going to do next. He can hit it sideways. He can hit it. He can hold it out from 150 yards.
For me, it's Phil Mickelson for 2 reasons.
It can be.
Number one, he takes chances. And number 2, he's the old lion now. He's the old affable lion.
He's the most. He's the biggest attraction.
He's the old affable lion, and he's a bigger attraction to me than Spieth, Day, and McIlroy.
At the moment, he is.
At the moment,
yeah, I'll buy that.
Good. Let's leave it there.